Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into something truly fascinating within the high-stakes, highly regulated world of pharmaceutical quality assurance. Now, when you think of Pharma QA, your mind probably jumps straight to strict protocols, or maybe the headache of an unresolved deviation, right? But the source material we're unpacking today highlights a surprising, absolutely non-negotiable tool that separates the truly exceptional quality professionals from the rest of the pack. And spoiler alert, it's not some pricey new software system or a complex algorithm. It's actually a fundamental human trait: curiosity.
So what actually builds strong quality systems? If you were to walk the floor of any major manufacturing plant today and just ask around, you'd probably hear things like better training, stricter oversight, or maybe more audits. But what really prevents recurring issues? What stops a tiny, seemingly insignificant out-of-specification error from snowballing into a massive compliance failure? Well, as we'll see as we dig into the data today, the answer is actually hidden in exactly how we investigate the unexpected.
That brings us to Section 1, Redefining Professional Curiosity. You see, the source material completely flips our traditional understanding of curiosity on its head. We usually associate being curious with, childhood learning, or maybe falling down a rabbit hole reading random articles at 2 in the morning. But in Pharma QA, it's defined as a powerful, highly tactical tool. Think of it as a magnifying glass for the QA professional. It's not just about wanting to know something for the sake of knowing it. No, it's an active defense mechanism designed to prevent recurring issues and ultimately strengthen your entire quality system. It is quite literally your frontline defense. Deploying this tool kicks off a serious chain reaction. First, it drives incredibly effective root cause analysis, meaning you actually get to the bottom of an issue. And that deeper dive, it naturally exposes system weaknesses long before they actually break. Uncovering those vulnerabilities then forces us to challenge our hidden assumptions, which ultimately fuels continuous improvement. So asking better, sharper questions isn't just some intellectual exercise. It leads directly to stronger investigations and vastly better long-term system performance.
Moving on to Section 2, the root cause reality.
Now, human nature dictates that when we find a plausible, surface-level explanation for an error, we just want to check the box, close the file, and move on to the next batch. It's easy, right? But stopping there completely ignores the tangled web of actual system weaknesses lurking right beneath the surface. The source material strongly warns us about the extreme danger of stopping at these surface-level fixes. We have an absolute necessity to dig deep and uncover the actual systemic vulnerabilities. Because let's face it, if we just accept the easy answer, the problem is practically guaranteed to return.
Just listen to this quote: "Strong quality systems are not built by accepting the first answer." It's a powerful statement, isn't it? There's definitely a touch of irony here in how often multi-million-dollar manufacturing processes fail, simply because highly trained professionals are afraid, or maybe just way too rushed, to ask why just one more time. The reality is, the first answer is almost always a symptom, not the actual disease.
So, to create truly effective CAPAs, corrective and preventive actions, we absolutely must relentlessly push past those initial findings. We have to drill down until the real causes become entirely clear. Imagine you're investigating a sudden bioreactor deviation. You can't just recalibrate a sensor and walk away, right? You almost have to play the toddler who just keeps asking, "But why?" over and over until you finally hit the bedrock of the issue. And that, right there, is where true quality assurance lives.
Let's look at Section 3, Challenging Hidden Assumptions.
Assumptions hide quality risks. The things we just know to be true, or the processes we assume are working totally fine because, well, that's how we've always done it, those act as incredibly dangerous blind spots. In Pharma QA, an unexamined assumption is basically a dark corner where quality risks can silently accumulate completely unnoticed, right up until a catastrophic failure forces them into the blinding light.
So how do we actually defeat those assumptions? Well, it requires a very deliberate workflow. It all starts with a simple observation, maybe just noticing something slightly off during a routine batch record review. But instead of brushing it aside, step 2 is you challenge the assumption that it's just a one-off fluke. That challenge leads to step 3, generating meaningful insights, which then forms the rock-solid foundation for step 4, developing highly effective CAPAs. It's honestly a beautiful roadmap showing exactly how everyday observations transform into actionable systemic defenses.
And that leads us to our final section, Section 4, Cultivating Continuous Improvement.
Every meaningful improvement begins with curiosity. And this isn't just an academic trait or a nice-to-have soft skill, it is the absolute, non-negotiable starting point for any systemic upgrade in Pharma QA. Think about it. If no one is ever curious about how to make things better, things will inevitably get worse. Stagnation is quite literally the enemy of quality.
Building this kind of culture means you have to intentionally reward your teams for asking the difficult questions. It means training auditors and operators alike to look way beyond the obvious. Creating an environment where turning raw observations into actionable insights is just the norm. But most importantly, it means celebrating, rather than penalizing, a collective refusal to just accept the first answer. When a facility actively encourages this kind of rigorous questioning on the manufacturing floor, it directly translates to robust, continuous improvement and undeniable long-term success.
We're going to wrap up this explainer with one final, truly provocative thought from the text. Every question asked today strengthens the quality of tomorrow. Look, in an industry entirely dedicated to saving and improving lives, your curiosity is quite literally a lifesaver. So as you head back to your own work and take a hard look at your own systems, the only thing left to figure out is this: what will you ask?